do that, then it's not happening. All right, Catherine, my friend, thou art on. And I'll give you like a 5 minute, you know, warning, okay?
Great, thank
Okay.
you. And I just want to say it's really great to be here because I've been super down the past few days, and this has brought me out of it. And speaking of which, instead of being super dark, I'm going to do a mix, hopefully, of funny stuff. And yeah, I'm going to start with something called memes schmemes. Memes, schmemes. Me, I think in memographs, because memes are for those who can't put together any more than 2 or 3 sentences, boring, dull thud of a sound. What's the point? Unless it's for Twitter, where there's only so many characters allowed. Well, I don't know, and I don't care, the dumbing down of America. Mean schmemes. I write in memographs, which are sort of like mini paragraphs for those who haven't caught on yet. Baby little paragraphs telling expanded stories, sharing my disgust at all the new technologies that'll fry the fuck out of our brains. Yes, and babies' brains too, little babies' brains too. But really, I don't know and I don't care. The dumbing down of America. Memes, schmemes, what's the point of them anyway? Is it like some silly grade school thing? Yeah, Art 101, cut and paste with Elmer's glue and rounded scissors. Just don't get caught running with them in the hallways or they'll put you in detention. Hey, I don't know and I don't care. The dumbing down of America. Memes, schmemes, me, I dream in memographs. I keep all my dream lovers intact, and we carry on such vivid conversations. We make love through wordy incantations. So what's the matter with the world, and where have all the poets gone? Well, with the exception of you, here and now. I see you, you see me, or do we? Huh. Yep, I don't know and I don't care. The dumbing down of America. This next one is called Scary Movies. Thank you. I love scary movies, don't you? Not the bloody slasher kind. Oh, no, rather the ghostly, creepy kind. A story that draws you in spite of yourself and brings you face to face with your dark shadow side. A film that instills chills, makes your heart beat fast. A film that sneaks up on you so you break out in the thread of cold sweat, dripping ever so slowly down your back, even in winter. There are eerie apparitions which go bump in the night, atmospheric disembodied souls who love to give you quite a fright. I love scary movies, don't you? Spirits that manifest from out of black corners to float into focus and suddenly swoosh across the room, spine-tingling, nerve-changling, out-of-body spookies with darkly sunken eyes and mouths open wide, screaming from deep within hollow chasms inside. Ooh, I love scary movies, don't you? They're the only things which can help me surpass and override all the horrors of real, everyday life. The next one is called That Hair. I finally got that hair. I was actually able to pluck it. You know the one, that single solitary hair growing on the left side of my face, right in the middle of my cheek. How did it get there? And why is it growing all alone? What does it all mean? More importantly, why me? I finally got that hair after plucking at all the peach fuzz surrounding and mounting the rest of my skin. And ouch, pulling peach fuzz really hurts. Sometimes my tweezer gets itself around that hair, but the thrust of the pull isn't enough to get it out. But today was different. I couldn't believe it. I finally got that hair and it only took 10 tries. I think that alone deserves a medal, if not band-aids to cover all the other gouges in my skin now. But I finally got that hair. You know the one, that elusive, slippery hair growing all by its lonesome, which I hadn't been able to pluck. Do you think it gets lonely living there so isolated, or does it get as jollies knowing it's driving me crazy? I vote for the latter. Oh, that hair. Now I got to find this other piece. Hang on. Oh, I'm going to do this one. I can find it. Water. Okay, I'm going to do this one because this is how I've been feeling the past few days, but now it's lifting. Thank you. The water washes over me in turbulent waves of tumultuous emotions, seeping into every crack and crevice of my being and bringing with it all my past sorrows, hurts, indulgences, and fears, surprisingly even past memories of pleasure. Between pleasure and pain is the right place to be, but can't I maintain it? Usually I am sucked up and thrown out into the water, knocked off my feet, landing into an abyss of feelings. These feelings aren't always welcomed. These feelings aren't particularly easy to fathom. My emotions erupt into sharply cut diamonds of despair. Sometimes I want to escape them and go back into my mother's womb where all my needs were met and where my beingness was much more self-contained, not so openly displayed for all the world to see, like a great big gashing scar bleeding from a deeply rooted, ever-festering wound. The water seems to bruise me, then cleanse me, if I don't succumb to being sucked up into it, if instead I can allow it to wash over me as I hang on to the great rock of spirit. I want to be absolved of my sins, healed of old traumas, released from this horrific world. But I am still in the world and still in my body, aren't I? And isn't there some way I can get out of this? Isn't there some place I can run away to and not deal with my human corporeal form? I do believe suicide is a sin and that I only have to reincarnate and come back again, start the whole horrible process and deal with humanity yet again. And who wants that? This line of thinking makes me sad. I often feel there is no escape and I am trapped in this thing called life on this place called Earth without any hope for a future redemption. The water rushes over me, baptizing me and helping me to overcome terrifying tortures, more than I can count using all my fingers and toes. The water can sometimes soothe my deepest burns, but at other times, the water makes things worse, as if seeing things through a magnifying glass, entering every nook and cranny of my soul and flushing out everything I don't particularly want to look at or examine too closely. But the water is relentless. It has no remorse. The water doesn't show me much compassion because the water doesn't care. It just is. It is just. Sometimes the water can be a cruel mistress, thrusting me upon the glaring rocks of self-revelation without any warning, without any hopes of soothing or of a gentle belonging. Sometimes the water acts as a salve upon my ancient prickly scars, aloe vera covering me like a warm blanket. But these precious times don't happen as often as I'd like. No, these welcome and revered times of salvation aren't as frequently appearing as I'd like. Still, it doesn't matter. What counts is that I show up for the deluge, for the wet wave, for the tsunami, for the monsoon, for the great earthly flood of all humanity as my tears and emotions well up and out in huge rushing gushes of lost dreams and broken hopes, of reviled friendships and the most deeply felt of betrayals scarring my heart. The water washes over me in overpowering hugs as I hang on for dear life, as I hang on to the raft God has thrown me, out of pity or out of love. And it turns out, once I have finished spilling my guts all over the living room floor, and after all is said and done, that apparently I don't really want to die at all. I wrote this one during the pandemic. Well, I feel we're sort of out of the woods, but I'm not living in China. The brook and the poem. The brook and the poem met at the corner, wishing it were an open cafe, but it wasn't. Instead, the water gushed over the paper, water dived deep into plaster, water made them meld together like candle wax. So much pain in the world, so much pain. Now I am stuck facing myself. Sometimes it's cool, but it can also be a dirty, nasty thing. Looking at yourself isn't made for sissies, to paraphrase a queen. So much pain in the world, so much pain. And people really don't like strong women, do they? Betty Davis, Maya Angelou, Angela Davis. Well, that's 3 anyway. What are you doing? Asked the poem. I'm rushing to meet the corner, said the brook, where I will make a sharp right turn. Then where will you go? Asked the poem. To the next corner and the next corner and the next, until I finally realize I'm all boxed in. Victor the Vespa. Oh, that's fun hearing that. Victor the Vespa. I just bought a Vespa and his name is Victor. He's vibrant and vibracious. Excuse me. He's vibrant and vivacious. Vibracious, I've just made up. What I would really call rambunctious. His color is a verdant splash of pistachio, that va-va-voom between sage and pale sea green, that mouth-watering lean traveling machine, which drives me to and from the market and beyond. Victor just had a vasectomy, which makes him the only male I've recently allowed myself to mount. Not that I like making love with a machine or anything. It's just that Victor is so revitalizing. So how can I complain? Victor is fearless. Why, just the other day while we were stopped at a red light, he looked up at me and said, "Want to gun it when the light changes?" Oh, that Victor, he's a bewitching devil, so I'd better watch out. But Victor also has some very strong morals. Victor is vehemently against any and all forms of four-wheeled transportation. Victor operates as a bipod on an extraterrestrial vibration. Victor is clearly on a very different level than either you or I. Victor the Victorious is my new name for this uber cool guy. Victor the Valiant, I may even add on to him. Oh, my Victor, my knight in shining armor. Lay some truth on me, oh gallant one. I await you. And in the theme of humor, I must do this one to balance Dan's piece. But it's got a bit of an Asian flair, and it's called My Poop. I love my poop. Do you love your poop? Do you ever even pay attention to your poop? Because if you don't, you should. I love my poop. And I look at mine every day throughout the day, just to make sure I don't have colon cancer or anything. I think it's vital to look at one's poop, don't you? It tells you all about your health. No kidding. I observe my poop, viewing it as my own free health barometer, and it gives me a daily I Ching reading. No, really. Sometimes I'll poop a potent energy or synergy, and I know immediately it's going to be a good day to write. Other days I'll poop difficult beginnings or maybe subordinate, which I don't particularly like. Oh, come on, which I really hate, because I'll probably give up early and waste my whole day. My favorites are sovereignty and grace, which I liken to a good omen or a really good lay. Basically, though, I notice the ley lines of my poop. Are they in one harmonious straight line or broken up, crossing in an extreme odds, or bobbing straight up and down like happy little buoys? Hey, it's not like I'm a hypochondriac or anything. Or even a germaphobe. Oh, wouldn't that be something? Because I don't mind ball guys. Howie Mandel, here I come. Are you ready to meet your female doppelganger? But seriously, folks, how much do you love your poop? As much as I love mine? I don't think so. I doubt it very much, because no one, and I mean no one, could possibly ever love their poop as much as I. Okay, I'm a little disjointed here, but that's okay. I'm glad that well, it matches yours perfectly, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It's like both
right.
ends against the middle or something.
And this is my Dear John letter to all the people who have, well, you'll see. It's called Adjectival Clause. I will not be your dangling participle. I will not be your adjectival clause. I will not let you add a semicolon to you. I will not be anything at all to you. And I'm going to start again. I'm sorry. Cut. Take two. I will not be your dangling participle. I will not be your adjectival clause. I will not let you add a semicolon to you. I will not be anything at all. I will not be your paragraph indentation. I will not be your conveniently deleted text. I refuse to be a type of reformatted body. I will never be your relegated, delegated mess. I will not allow for subjugation or negation. I will not allow for you to treat me wrong. You may think you can override or control me, but for me, keeping my integrity is what counts. I will not accept your daggers or your curses. I will not be available to any unkind thoughts. I will not allow you to own or control me, because for me, you will not be anything at all. I will not be your misdiagrammed sentence. I will never be your spell check phrase. I hereby release any all cords and attachments that ever connected me to you in the first place. I will not be a slave to your tenses, whether they be past, present, or future. I will not allow you to judge me or blindside me, nor to ever circumvent, circle, or contain. I will not be your vague first-person pronoun. I will not be drawn into second-person duos. I will not allow for your dirty third-person statement to contaminate or to cloud any part of me. I will not be there for single-lettered whiteouts, nor will I agree to immediate autocorrect. You will need to speak to me in complete sentences with every part of the definition intact. I will not be tossed aside like some quick interjection, neither dissected into a predicated verb or obtuse phrase, designated as a mere prepositional pronoun, just so you can come off sounding cool and amazing. I will not be followed by a series of commas. I am never, no, not ever, a question mark. I am always written in ink, not in erasable pencil. I am always the main clause. I am a complete thought. Because I will not be your dangling participle. I will not be your adjectival clause. I will not let you add a semicolon, because to you, I will not be anything at all. That felt really good to write.
Yeah.
And how much time do I have? Oh, perfect. I'm involved in a group that does 5-word competition poems. So I'm going to read a few of those, and then I'm going to end with a poem that's really meant for the Brits, but I think you'll like it. 5-word challenge. So this first one is called hairball. And I don't remember what the 5 words are, but they give you 5 words. You have 15 minutes to write something. Hairball. My cat coughs. He coughs a lot. Sometimes it is accompanied by a gross, gooey hairball, and sometimes, if I'm lucky, it is not. Oh, do I love my cat? Well, of course I do. I have such pleasant memories of his licks and purrs and kisses. He really is my very best friend. And whenever I feel sad or blue, he gently puts his paws in my hand. But then, up comes another disgusting hairball. He has left me a charming gift to clean up. Great. That's when I pretend I don't know him. Nope, never met him. And I make a hasty, well-timed escape. Anyway,
great.
I love writing these. This one's called A Valentine's Day Gift. I'm all in for love, usually that is, rocking with my lover until the wee hours of the morning. But last night I became a cynic in the love game. My lover had me sitting straight up on the edge of my bed screaming. He'd brought me an ugly, scaly lizard as my Valentine's Day present. A lizard, I bemoaned. A lizard, he replied with a knowing smile. Good luck for regeneration and renewal, he explained. Isn't that what you said you wanted? He asked impatiently. Oh, no, I said with scorn. I wanted tickets to see Eddie Izzard. Okay, I guess you have to know who Eddie Izzard is.
Well, yeah, I know him.
He's a British comic. Anyway.
Yes, he did some.
I spent a lot of time in England. Anyway, okay. Yeah. Everyone having fun? Are we enjoying ourselves?
It's okay to unmute. She wanted us to unmute so you can respond later.
Yes,
and also,
please
your
respond.
friend is in the house. Lawrence is in the house.
Lawrence is in the house. Is he showing his face? No.
Not yet.
Okay. No, he's shy. No, I'm kidding.
Well, that's all right.
So, are we having fun yet? That's the.
We're having fun.
Light the world. Okay, great.
Yes.
I like the poop poem.
The poop poem is great, isn't it? I read it here months ago, but gratefully we're all over 60 and have, memory issues. So this next one is called The Ragamuffin. And this was done on St. Paddy's Day. This may start out sounding a lovely story, but it really isn't. The rain came down gently on the oak trees, beneath which huddled a teeny tiny ragamuffin. Everything about him was small, from his teeny tiny hands to his teeny tiny head to his teeny tiny widget of a diglett. Oh, what a sad and sorry ragamuffin, for it was almost St. Paddy's Day and he had no one to love him of the same size. You see, he had been trapped under a spell of bitter, unfulfilled lust brought down upon him by an equally tiny leprechaun who, just like the ragamuffin, bore teeny tiny grudges. Anyway, that's enough of that. I have time for one more.
Yes, right? You do.
I have 2 minutes.
All right.
And, first I want to thank everyone for being such a captive audience. And was there one I forget? No, that one was too long. Okay. This one is, I hope you all know a little bit about British humor. Maybe. Raise your hands. Anyway, this one's called, it's a really old phrase. It's called slag. Does everyone know what a slag is? No, a slag is like a whore. Okay. In Britain, they say, oh, you're such a slag. All right. So time travel back to the 60s or 70s or 80s or even 90s. Just time travel into the past century. She's a bit of a slag. She's a bit of a slag. I'd say she's an out-and-out whore. She's a bit of a slag. She's a bit of a slag. She's an out-and-out female escort. He's a bit of a puff. Oh, he's a bit of a puff. He wears black leather outfits and he likes it rough. It's the softest black leather and it fits like a glove. They're a tight pair, these two. They're a right pair, they are, working from the King's Road to the Queen's Castle at Windsor. And they never complain because they're chauffeur driven. Oh, no, they never complain. I mean, really, why would they? It's a well-known fact. It's a well-known fact. The more you're out of pocket, the more you'll get. And if you don't like that, then get out of the car now before it gets too late. They're an acquired taste. They're an acquired taste. Not everyone likes such kinky mates. Not everyone has such kinky tastes. They're a special treat. Such a special treat. Worth every penny, if you ask me, and worth every pound. Shit, they aren't free. I feel better, y'all.
So
Thank you. Thank you. I had a good time.
Oh.
Thank you.